I'm sure you've heard the term, maintaining the wrist cock or creating more lag or getting a good release angle for more distance. I think all golfers, regardless of handicap, at some points tried to maintain the lag or hold the angle during the downswing. This position, the angle formed between your lead arm and the club shaft, is not just a kind of a technical jargon, but it's an ideal swing mechanics behind the generating the explosive club set speed and any extra yards you can get off the tee that we're all after. Many times amateurs or recreational golfers mistakenly believe that extraordinary strength is needed to create and maintain this angle during the downswing. A lot of tension trying to muscle the club, which ironically can cause exactly what you're trying to avoid, which is an early release. Usually the truth is your distance problems likely aren't due to lack of strength. Rather, it's about poor utilization of the strength you already possess, or maybe improper sequencing when setting and releasing the angle. And obviously it causes the premature loss of the angle during the downswing. The most common power leak, losing your release angle too early, which not only reduces your club head speed, but it also brings the club into impact at a bad angle, compounding your distance loss. The good news is really you don't need to have like Sergio's or Minwoo Lee's, their dramatic lag positions to get distance. When your lead arm reaches this position, parallel to the ground, in the downswing, about a 45-degree club shaft angle is ideal in achieving for most golfers with average strength and coordination. At this position in the swing, right here, this point where I'm going to, where the arms parallel the ground, that's your release angle should be the maximum. After this point, it's going to start to come out, and as we go towards impact. So if we go to the backswing point, right here, you can see halfway, lead arm horizontal to the ground. Now I'm going to come down to where it's horizontal again, and you can see where that 45-degree angle is right here. So if I put a line up, go back to there, you can see that's where it's going to come back to into the downswing. So that would be, the maximum you're going to get into the downswing is going to be right here. Now at this point you got to start letting that come out where you don't, and most people try to keep that lag all the way to the ball, which is not going to be good. Okay. So a lot of what I would emphasize in doing this is going to create it if we always start down from the lower body first. Kind of go on the knee, both knees, and I'll go on the right hip, and then on the left hip, and go down to that point. So you can see how the right knee is shifted forward, the left knee is shifted forward, the hips. So that sequencing right of the lower body going first is going to be, I usually go to sequence first. You got to have the, it's ground up, lower body's starting that. So the knee shift, the hip shift, you go back, even, the head, we go to the center of the head right here. It's going to go a little bit. So that momentum from the lower body is going to carry this, not as much, because the lower body is going to be leading. But that's really important to lead with that part. If we go here, I'm going to put up the right shoulder, because the lower body is going to influence that. So the path of the right shoulder, the red is the backswing and the yellow is the downswing. So you can see how that narrows and it's moving down. So as I go back, yellow. Now the right shoulder is going to start working down. You can see that. So it's starting to move down and forward towards the target. Okay. So proper sequences of that is the lower body. A lot of players will dive with the upper body and leaves the right shoulder too high and lack of the lower body, which will allow that release angle to go away. So then we look here at how the arms move will naturally come closer to the body. So again, the red is the backswing, yellow is the downswing, this would be the hand path. So you can see as we go back, come down to this point, you can see how that narrows. That's naturally going to bring the arms a little bit closer to the body than they were in the backswing. And then also you'll notice how at this point the elbows are pretty level. See, the left is in green, the right is in red. As you go to the top, see there's still not much right, but as you come down, watch how the right starts to show up. So showing a good active trail side or right side. So by that shift of the lower body, your right shoulder lowers as a result of that. Right shoulder's moving down and towards the target. The elbow is going to come under the left. Good indication of good players do that a lot. And that's going to bring the right elbow closer to the body. Now you can see it's not touching the body. So you aren't trying to jam the elbow in or keep the elbow in close. A lot of people make that, that issue trying to do that. So that will be a natural narrow, but that's something you can look for. Now, something else I look for is when we get to this point, I look for that club head. So if I put a line on the toe of the club, when the left arm's horizontal to the ground, I like to see the club head about over the ball at that point. Many people, by this point, their club's over here. Okay, so I look for that point. You can see it's almost touching the left shoulder when the left arm is horizontal, and really close to the ball, the toe of the club is. So that's some, when I'm just looking at video, I look for that. Okay. So then the club we mentioned here, go to this point. You aren't massively trying to muscle it into that position. But if I go to here and go to that point, you can see that's going to be about a 45-degree angle from where it was in the backswing. So keeping that club close to you is a mechanical advantage because it's like the skater. Skater wants to go slower, they move the arms out, but you want that club to stay closer to you. Not necessarily you aren't jamming the elbows in the arms, but you want the club to stay closer to the body, which is going to mean it's going to have a greater distance to go to get to the ball, which is going to speed up. If the club is out here and I've released it early, see that distance to the ball is less, and it's going to go slower. So those are all characteristics I would look for. Now if we go to the full figure, a lot of it here is I work a lot with lack of momentum in the swing. Swing takes about 1 second, to go from takeaway to impact. So when you're going back, backswing, is going to be about 0.7, downswing about 0.3 in that range. So you're looking for the downswing more than twice as fast as the backswing, almost 3 times really. So a lot of people, by the time their club is right here, when I use video, I can have the time counter on here. Many people are right here and they've already taken a second to get into the backswing. You lose the momentum that you can generate in the swing, which is really important. So you're trying to get a good initiation of the backswing using your arms, shoulders, back, core, hips, everything to get it going. And I use a metronome at about 1 second, beep, beep. take it back on the beat, hit it on the beat. That's what you're trying to do. And a lot of the momentum you get here, now the club is going to start slowing down at the top. And if you watch this little subtle angle right here that you want to see, and you'll see this in a lot of good swings. So if you watch here as it starts down, see that little, so the momentum of the club head going back, the pausing of the arms just a little bit creates that little subtle dropping of the wrist angle. See that just a little bit? So the wrist and the club, see there's a little bit of movement going in that direction right there. So that's kind of that direction. The force is going kind of that way. See, that settles that release angle in. But overall, you want to get that, you want to get your swing going, so you're just moving it from good momentum so that you're not guiding the swing or steering the swing, trying to think too much. So you want to get it in that good 1 second. So get the momentum started at the beginning. Don't go too slow. Allow it to settle in at the top. Don't rush it down at the top. So you're allowing that softness to happen at the top using the club's momentum. And then when you get down here, at this point, no, this is the maximum angle you're going to get. As you come to the ball, you got to let that go and let it come out. You can see it impact. If I put that line up to the ball, see that lines up really good. So you go back to set up and then to impact. See, the hands are way out in front. The body shifted it over. So give that a try. Hope that helps. You maintain the correct release angle and you get it through proper mechanics.